France is admired worldwide for beauty, culture, and luxury, yet beneath the charm lies a fragile economy. Tourists photograph the Eiffel Tower, unaware the nation holding it carries massive, silent financial weight. This story reveals why a country seen as rich is struggling to remain economically afloat, because France isn't poorer because of bad luck, but because of long-term economic DNA decisions. To understand France today, we must travel back centuries to a kingdom obsessed with power and grandeur. For centuries, France funded wars, palaces, and revolutions through debt rather than sustainable production. The monarchy borrowed from bankers while peasants paid heavier taxes, fueling anger and eventual rebellion. The French Revolution promised equality, but inherited the same financial weaknesses built into the system. Napoleon rose promising reform yet financed expansion through loans, expecting conquered nations to repay costs. When defeats came, the bill returned home with interest, creating long-term structural debt dependency. Fast forward to the 20th century. Industrialization arrived too slowly compared to Germany and the UK. France protected traditions instead of embracing aggressive modernization, causing productivity to lag behind. World War I devastated the economy with millions dead and factories destroyed, crippling generational progress. World War II followed, forcing France once again to rebuild from the ashes of conflict. Each reconstruction left scars. Relying on government intervention became part of national economic culture. After the wars, France built a generous welfare state admired yet dangerously expensive to maintain. Retirement, healthcare, unemployment benefits expanded rapidly, while birth rates began steadily declining. The math became unavoidable. Fewer workers supporting more retirees with longer lifespans each decade. Today, nearly 1/4 of France's population is over 60, one of Europe's highest. The burden squeezes productivity and stifles innovation as taxes rise to keep benefits afloat. France has the highest taxes in the European Union when measured across income, payroll, and consumption. For every 100 euros earned, a significant share disappears into state-managed programs with questionable return. Businesses hesitate to hire as employment costs multiply far beyond the salary promised to workers. Young entrepreneurs often relocate to London, Dubai, or Berlin, seeking lower taxation and more freedom. Brain drain silently extracts the energy necessary to fuel future economic growth and competitiveness. France tried jump-starting industries through subsidies, yet state-driven strategies rarely produce sustainable innovation. Entire sectors rely on government support instead of free market competition and scalable private investment. Protest culture, central to French identity, pushes governments to spend rather than reform. Every proposed change meets nationwide strikes, shutting transportation, schools, refineries, and public services. Politicians fear reform because governments collapse when citizens believe benefits are under threat. The breaking point emerges in the budget where debt now exceeds 110% of GDP. France pays billions annually just to service interest without reducing the original debt. If interest rates rise or global growth slows, repayments could overwhelm national capacity. Rating agencies have issued warnings as investor confidence fluctuates on long-term sustainability concerns. The euro rescues stability externally, but restricts internal fiscal flexibility critical during crisis periods. Modern France faces global competition from nations producing faster, cheaper, and more efficiently. Asian manufacturing, American tech giants, and Middle Eastern capital challenge traditional European dominance. Meanwhile, small businesses in France struggle under regulation, paperwork, and complex compliance requirements. The story repeats. High ideals clash with harsh economic math impossible to ignore forever. What was once a strength, government protection, has become a barrier in the digital global economy. Yet the narrative isn't hopeless. France has talent, technology, and resources to rebound strongly. The question is whether the nation can adapt without compromising social identity deeply ingrained culturally. The economic truth is simple. France is poorer than it appears because wealth hides systemic weaknesses. Tourists see monuments and museums. Economists see deficits, debt cycles, and productivity gaps widening. The problem wasn't created overnight, and solving it won't be either. Generations face the consequences. 3 lessons emerge from France's economic journey, echoing far beyond its borders today. First, prosperity built on borrowing instead of production eventually collapses under its own weight. Second, benefits without balanced contribution create financial systems mathematically destined to fail. Third, delay in innovation costs more than investment. Modernization postponed becomes irreparable loss. France stands at a crossroads where history, pride, and economics collide in uncertain resolution. Will it reform and rise, or cling to comfort until the system can no longer uphold itself? This story is about more than France. It's a warning to every nation making similar choices. If you want more documentaries uncovering economic truths hidden behind headlines, subscribe for future deep dives. Because the world's wealth isn't always what it seems, and the numbers never lie.